Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is going to be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional. Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. And welcome to a BET Plus episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today we shall be discussing the first lady of BMF, the Tonesa Welch story, brought to you by Vivica Fox for some reason. But we will be discussing this movie. As we said, we're doing the BMF show, put on by her ex-boyfriend, 50 Cent, long time ago, but still, he has the most famous show, and now we got this movie. So why do we have this movie? What do we think of this movie? How does it compare? We'll do all that. But Kim, what did you think? I see.
Okay. Let's say Judge Mathis also did. He was an executive producer.
He was.
So it wasn't just Vivica. Vivica did the directing mostly, and then she was in the end of it. We saw her. I feel like Tonesa felt like her story wasn't being told the way she wanted it to be told. The way that 50 Cent was telling her story. But in my opinion, the story that we saw, Tonesa's story, when I watched this, it's the same thing I saw on BMF. Like, it's just that she gave us more details. I apologize, my dog's barking. She gave us more details, right? Which is wonderful.
Well,
I'm sorry. Okay, so they gave us more details of her life, right? We got more of her parents, that's great, right? Which I saw Laura from
Family Matters.
Family Matters. I was like, go girl, I haven't seen her in forever, so I was happy to see her. And then Leon, I love Leon, so I was happy to see him. Anywho, but so I understand maybe that's what she wanted to do, but really, we are seeing her story unfold on BMF. But I understand maybe she just wanted to tell it the way she wanted to tell it. So are we doing positives first?
Yeah, well, yeah. So we're gonna try to do that. But look, I like to for what you said at first. I feel like I understood, particularly BMF starts, as she's concerned, when she meets the boys, when she meets Big Meech and Terry. That's when her story starts. So for those who don't know, Markeisha Taylor, the character played by Lala, that's who Tonesa. Tonesa's the main inspiration for that character, especially in the sense that she is Terry's confidant. That's his woman, and that's where they go. So that's what we see here. Like, this kind of explains what happened before they met at the club. You know, who was she when she only had one kid, and how she got with her first drug dealer, and how she got with H, and this kind of gives that kind of story. But for me, the biggest thing was, when did she and Meech and Terry get together? Terry get together. And in the TV show, which we got upset about, I know I got upset about, when they tried to give the impression that she basically dated a teenager, like he was still in high school when they got together. So because he's maybe 18, because he hasn't even graduated high school at this point. He dropped out, but he has not graduated. So he's maybe 18 maybe. And she's like in her 20s, I guess, because she has a job and she works at the insurance company and all that. So to find out that they actually met when he was 25 and she was in her 30s, it just made me feel better about the situation, about their relationship. So that's probably the biggest thing. Like, oh, okay, because she did write a thing about that. She was very upset about how that particular part of her story was portrayed, by 50. But anyway, we got Vivica Fox is still in love with 50. Yeah, I felt like she was just trying to get his attention with this silly shit. That's how I took it. This should have been a series. As presented, this should not have been a series. This is not it. And
Marcus, no.
And BET is not the channel to put that together. Like, that's what I learned from this, as I've seen a lot of BET Plus shit. No, Like you want stars money. Like they're not HBO money, but they're much better than a BET Plus production. Because
Yes.
this was not it. Like
Because
the
that whole club scene,
trash.
woo,
That's some shit I've
trash.
seen on All Black, and I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that was
Come
an
on.
all black scene.
That's
I ever saw it. Yes,
I was like,
absolutely.
But that being said, so is it, wait. So Leon was the best part of this movie.
I enjoyed Leon. I will say that I did.
So it's interesting. You know, 5 heartbeats. Like she's like, Terry was like, oh, it's the 5 heartbeats. It's 5. When I saw him and I saw Laura from Family Matters, and I was like, this is Hollywood casting right here.
Yeah, for sure.
They put a 40-something-year-old woman with a 60-something-year-old man.
61 and she's 47.
And be like, that's same. Like people will believe that they're a couple. I was like, that's not okay.
But
like,
honestly, to be honest with you, he does not look 61. He does not.
No,
he really doesn't. He doesn't. He does not look. I didn't view it as bad casting. I didn't. There are some women who are the range of who they're married to is that far apart, right? There's a lot of people who are married that are that far apart. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like both my sisters are married to older people, and they're significantly older than them. Some people prefer older people. That's just some women, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's that for me wasn't a big deal. And I thought that the acting, both of those actors they're of a caliber, you know, that they're, in my opinion, they're better than this movie.
Oh yeah.
Their acting chops kind of diminished by this movie, in my opinion. But
and the writing, damn it,
the writing,
it's the writing, right? Because like these are decent actors. And not to take any away from Laura. I'm not trying to do that.
No,
I understand she's only 2 years older than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing her in this movie, remembering what she looked like during Family Matters, I was like, time hits us all. Like I was like, this is what 40 looks like. That's what I told her. I was like, baby, this is what 40 looks like. I was like, shit. But she looked like a mama. She looked like a mom. Now her daughter.
And that wig they put on her, that first one, I was very disappointed. I gotta go into what she looked. I'm sorry, I gotta go to that part. I don't have Stacey to bounce off of, but that wig, Jesus Christ. Okay, why? Anyway, but I guess they were trying to make her look older, right? And it also was the 80s, right? Everybody had the Jerry curl in the 80s, right? Oh yeah. So, but I mean, right? She's 47, and like she's not. I mean, she looks 47. Let's just say that she looks her age. Right.
And again, not to again, I was just like, I was like, how time hits us, you know, in one thing, but casting. The actors that played her daughter, you know, Tonesa, they used the same actor for the whole movie, which is terrible because that was a 30-year-old woman trying to play a 19-year-old. And she could not do it. I was like, how old is this grown-ass woman? Like, how old is she supposed to be?
Well, wait a minute. They had Daphne, who's an Instagram star, and then they had Jess Hilarious, Instagram star. Both of them are in their 30s.
And I'm like, this is terrible casting. I'm just but her when Daddy said you better be home, I was like, oh, she must be like a teen, like a young.
She was 19. She was 19.
Yeah, and I was like, this, y'all couldn't even afford younger actors, at least for this part of the story. I was like, God damn, BET Plus. I mean, come on. It looked terrible. Those wigs look terrible. The whole thing terrible. I'm like, y'all grown ass women. This is not okay. No. Anyway, I'm sorry. So
I agree with that totally. I think they should have gotten younger young ladies to play them as younger young ladies, right? And then eventually move it forward, right? And then we still have Jess Hilarious. We still have Daphne Smith. Yeah. So because I enjoyed seeing both of them. I've been a fan of them on Instagram for years. But so their acting was actually fine. All of the acting, I would say, as far as those three was okay for a BET Plus movie, right?
There you go.
But I will tell you, whoever, Vivica, sweetheart, when you direct people, tell them to stop looking at the camera, because all the extras were looking at the camera, and some of the people who were supposed to be stars were looking at the camera. Leon didn't look at the camera. The mom didn't look at the camera. The children looked at the camera. Some of the thugs was looking at the camera. Some of the extras in the back kept looking at the camera. I was like, and it was so noticeable. It was embarrassing. I was like, this should have been reshot because it was so many people. Look at the dude who played Meech.
Yeah.
With the long braids, whatever. That guy is a producer, director. He does all these different things. Sir, you are not an actor because you were staring at the camera.
Hey.
He kept looking, and I was like, what? Like, she's the director. Vivica's the director. You see them looking at the camera. Tell them stop doing that.
Stop. Like, this is not, you're not breaking the fourth wall. We got she didn't like that they made her out to be a pedophile in BMF. Absolutely. Like that. I mean,
but I understand that, but that's the only thing that minus the fact that she had her parents in this,
yeah,
and then that she wasn't a pedophile. We already know her story. That's the only thing she added that was extra.
So it's also it's interesting how like I preferred her character because the real story is a woman who chose thugness. Like she chose crime when she had at least a man in college trying to be legit. She consistently chose bad men, putting her and her children in danger. And then she was a bad mother because then she was a
horrible mom. She put the kids on the back burner each and every time.
Every time. I was, don't tell your story, girl. This is not helping you. Like I was like, I would much rather see you as Lala. Like that's
at least with Lala, she got her babies with her.
Yes.
We saw her babies a couple of times on BMF, right?
Yes.
Right there with the mama. The first time she slept with Terry, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. The kids were somewhere around, right?
Yeah, I was.
But still, the kids were there.
At least they were. It was never they with my parents. I'm gonna drop another one off with my parents, right? Like this did not make you look good. And also, real quick. This Marcus, I was on this too. It was weird to see Nurse Brian from Double Cross playing Terry. They couldn't even give him a fake lazy eye. That's how you know who Terry is. Like I was like, Terry was like, what happened to his eye? Is that coming later? No, baby, it's BET Plus. They're not doing all that.
No.
I stared at Terry for so long, and I knew him. I just couldn't play. I knew, and
really?
I was like,
I knew that was him. Yeah, I knew that was him.
It was eating at me. I was like, he plays a weasel on a show, and I like him, but he gets on my nerves, and I could. And it like about halfway through the movie, I was like, Double Cross.
Yep.
I was go back to Double Cross. But also this story does what we discussed that BMF is trying to do, right? Paint Big Meech in the best light possible. Because in that show, for example, they don't murder anyone directly. Neither one of them, especially Big Meech, because he's still in jail. You know what I'm saying? So they almost like he just happens to be around when shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a drug dealer, but he happens to be around when the bad stuff happens. In this movie, the whole BMF was apparently Terry's and Tonesa's idea and their operation. It was Terry who got the drugs from Tonesa. It was Terry who said, let's start a record label. It was Terry who was like running the drugs, and Big Meech was in like 3 scenes, like in comparison.
True. I would say that's true. Yeah.
He committed no crimes in this movie.
But also too, when Tanisha was warning Terry about being on phones, that is absolutely the truth. Based on the documentaries I've seen a 10 millions, okay, of documentaries because it's everywhere. And Terry actually was the reason why they got busted, because even though Meech was flashy and that pissed Terry off, right? Meech didn't talk on the phone ever about drugs. He never talked on the phone about drugs. And when someone would start to talk about drugs, he would hang up because he knew that about phone taps. Like he knew. Tanisha knew about phone taps, right? And she kept telling Terry, Stop talking. What do you hear the click? Remember she was saying that to him, right?
Yeah. They made a point. They made a point of that. Yeah.
They made a point of that because that is the absolute truth. Terry, the way that Terry handled business was different than the way that Big Meech handled business. Big Meech was flashy. Yes, he was with the money. But Big Meech's, as far as the drug dealing portion of it, was quiet. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was the outward front man, but the drug dealing was Terry in the background.
Yes, absolutely. So she did portray that correctly. She did.
But it was interesting how Atlanta was huge. I mean, that's where BMF became BMF, right? And like they don't even get, because that was Big Meech's realm. Like that's where he did, and they covered none of that. Like the big ass billboards that were like the world belongs to BMF.
This wasn't the story. This wasn't Meech's story. This was Terry. This was Tanisha and Terry. It was Tanisha telling her and Terry's story.
Yeah, and
it was not about Big Meech because at that time, Terry and Big Meech were having issues when they moved to Atlanta. They were having a lot of issues.
But I thought I remember one of us, I think it was Stacy, somebody said was like, do you notice how again like BMF, they make sure to put Big Meech in the best light possible, right? To be like he's not a murderer. Like he's not a murderer.
Like, that could be a 50 Cent thing, right? Because they're trying to put him in a better light so that he gets released just like his brother's been released, right?
And that's why
his brother got released based on health. He has health issues.
And that's how I felt they were trying to do with this. Again, to be like Terry and Tonesa took the credit for the operation. Yeah, Big Meech just happened to be there. So they were like, hey, if you watch this, you don't see all the stuff that he was, that Big Meech was involved with. This movie was lackluster. Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, it was. It really I was bored. Oh my gosh. I was so bored. I was like, when are we gonna speed this up? Like, and this is the thing too. We've already you watched the BET where they had the women drug dealers, right?
Yeah. I tried to go back and watch her episode. Trap Queens.
Trap Queens.
1, 2, and 3.
We saw this on Trap Queens, right? Like some of this.
So, and I was like, and I even told Terry, I was like, hey, babe, you can go watch the Trap Queens episode so you can see a much shorter and more succinct version of this story.
Yes.
And apparently you can't find it on BT Plus. It's not on there anymore. I think you got to watch it on cable, I guess, but it only has like one episode. I thought it was kind of funny that at the end of the movie, she said she walked away from Ben Terry when in real life she's back with him. I was going to ask you about
that. Married him.
So even this movie's a lie because they're together. But this thing acts like, again, like she moved on, like she's better than this. And I'm like, no, you're not, because you and Terry are together now.
Yes.
So
because remember in the damn Trap Queens, we saw them walk away together. Remember?
Yes. She was like, look, I'm better now. I'm out of jail. And then this should have been a Tubi movie. You're right, DeMarcus. This is Tubi level or all black level. You know what I'm saying? These are not compliments, just for the record. This is not Stars level. Like 50 would have did better. 50 is doing it better. I gotta say, minus the random ass scenes for some reason. I feel like 50 BMF is much better telling of the story. I kind of think she wants Terry to be celebrated in the same way that Meech is. This is why Meech isn't in the movie that much. I can hear you, but there's nothing positive about Terry in this thing, right? Like he's a good father, I guess. He played stepfather a little bit, but he's still the drug dealer. Like he's still the one who didn't listen to his woman and then got the whole operation shut down. Like that's what this movie shows. So
that's the truth, though. He did do that.
I'm saying, but like it's like the only thing I got from this again was he's a good daddy to somebody else's kids, which he's also doing in BMF. Because he spends more time.
He does have a son. That because the son was the one who was executive producing with 50 the BMF story So he does have a son. I think he has two sons actually. So he has.
Well, at least in this movie they acknowledged one. We never saw her. We never saw him or the baby mama. They sped up, especially after 1992. They did this actually. It felt almost like What's Love Got to Do with It. In the sense of like, young woman gets with established man, right? Black woman gets with established black man, an abusive black man, a man that she's like, hey, I only know myself because when she's with H, I only know myself because of him. right? And then she's like, the abuse happened, but you know, it wasn't as bad as last time, so I'm still gonna stick around until she becomes free. Most of the movie was that. It was her relationship with H, and they kind of sped through the BMF part of the story. And then I'm like, they want us to believe that in real life, this woman never bothered to check on the status of the man of H who is in jail, just to see when he's getting out, since you move another man and another baby into this man's house. Like, this really happened? Like, what? Like, I understand these are people not okay. I understood how H felt when he got out, because that's not okay. Like, I was like, and especially a man who's already violent and already a criminal.
If you're gonna do something like that, she should have moved to a completely different house. You don't move another man into another man's house, whether y'all are together or not. Sell the house so that man can't come back and the H can't come back in there and be like, this is my fucking house. You get out. No, sell the house. And then move on. Or don't sell the house. Let H's family live in the house, but you get your own house.
Yes.
You don't do it. And have a baby.
I'm like, this murdered. H, if he would have murdered the entire family at that point, I would have been like, I understand. Like, I would, but I get it, right? Because this is a lot to take in.
I mean, it's messed up, right? But you get it, right?
Right? Like Chris Rock said, I'm not saying it was okay, but I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like this is grounds for. I was like, she's about to get her ass whooped, and I'm like, I don't want to see it, but what'd you think?
I thought he was gonna do something. Okay, wait a minute. Can we get to? I'm glad you brought that part up.
Oh, come on.
What was with the baby?
Damn it! I was like, damn you all, damn you BET Plus,
David. They have robotic babies they're actually just as cute and cuddly as a real one. And you mean to tell me that nobody could have got one of those? You just got this stiff doll wrapped up.
I will take it a step further. I don't even think it was a doll. I mean, a doll, but I promise you that was a box of some sort, something round, right? Like oval, and they just put some towels around. It wasn't even a baby doll.
I don't think so either. I don't think so.
Was it Double Cross that we actually saw the doll? He can be like, that's a doll. Damn it. Don't let us see the doll. Don't let us do that. We're like, that's fake as fuck. And then the constant fake ass baby crying in the back. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. Like, this is There you go, Marcus. The fake baby, yo. I was like,
that was ridiculous. It was so obvious. But with that said, I thought he was gonna throw that baby or smash it or something. I was like, wait a minute.
He's like,
I can't see this.
Me too. I was like, he's about to fuck that baby up. And I'm like, I don't want to. I was like, oh shit. I was like, then he went to jail, right? Like he after for life at this point, right? But interesting enough, though, again, in BMF season 2, he's in like his character is in like 2 episodes. Like his all that shit happens off camera. Him abusing her happens off camera. Him getting arrested happens off camera. And we were complaining about that. We're like, where is this character, right? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So at least he was actually in this one, I guess. The Trap Queens episode was better. Absolutely.
It was. It really was. And I was very interested in her story. I mean, she's very poised, very well spoken. She's a beautiful woman. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. And I was like, this is great. Not to say that the young lady who played her in this wasn't. Because everybody looked fine. It's just that I just don't feel like this story was needed. But I understand her wanting to tell her own story. I get that part of it. Yeah. But I feel like, damn it, if you really wanted that, you should have got something better than BET Plus.
You should have got stars or something. Like something. Yeah. You should have held out for stars money, because this is not. And this, I don't know. Again, you trying to be honest. Yes, her portrayal as a woman and a mother was not good.
Like, it was bad. It was. I felt ashamed. I was like, you know what? As a mom, Jesus Christ! Like, horrible. I don't understand how you can drop a baby off with someone. I don't care whether it's the grandparents or whatever. How do you sleep at night? I am an older person now. My kids are grown and married, and I still have times where I can't sleep because I'm worried about my kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't
that's how much you, as a mom,
I can't say I understand. I hear you, and I acknowledge what you're saying, but obviously I ain't got no kids, and I'm a man, so both of those things. But I no, you're absolutely right though. You're absolutely right. And I tell the story often. Years ago, I had a girlfriend who had 5 kids.
Whew.
All of them were with grandma. So 4 kids were already down there, and then she had her 5th, and I went with her to drop the 5th one off with grandma. And I was like, you're not a mama. Like, we weren't going anywhere anyway, but I'm like, this don't look good. But I mean, but also we gotta look at society, right? Like in America, at least American society, women are expected to take care of their kids. Like
absolutely.
We never even asked the question, like, where was first baby daddy? He never even popped up.
No, we didn't see him. Was it Melvin? I think his name was.
Melvin.
Like
He never popped up. Bobby never came back to be like, I want my son. Like, it was just her. But we're like, hey, what kind of mother are you? And I totally agree. I mean, I do agree, right? Even her father wasn't there, right? Like, it was her stepfather trying to help raise her, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So and what is that? How does that play? You know, in the thing.
And then, but they showed her real dad come to the hospital. And I'm going to tell you this right now. That scene where she was like, I got to get the F out of here. And da, 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 and the way she was talking to them, I would have slapped the shit out of her. There's no way on this planet. No way. I don't care how old my kids are. Okay. And they're both men. Don't talk to me that way. I don't care how upset you are. I don't care what's going on. Do not, even when I'm just having conversations with my boys, they don't curse. Because I don't feel that I need you to talk to me that way, even if you're trying to tell a story. I don't want to hear that coming out of your face. So the way that she projected it to them, get the fuck out of my way. I was like, wait a minute.
No.
You
got another bruise because you got knocked the fuck out at that point.
Oh yeah, right on her forehead.
Yeah, right. That's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch this movie tonight. Don't do it. I love the BMF documentary and shows. This is not the one. I'm sorry. If you're gonna watch, we stopped watching that shitty thing that 50 Cent did on Stars. That like 10-minute.
Oh, the documentary that he did trying to put Meech in a better light. Remember that documentary? Yeah.
I was like, blowing through money or some silly shit. I was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was like, there's a much better one on YouTube I watched. It was like 30, 45 minutes. I was like, and I was like, I liked it. Done by a white dude. I thought they were trying to be a Mary Thomas moment from Precious. I was like, I didn't see that, but Kim understands.
Yeah, I do.
They would have had her brothers cast in the movie. They would have handled H. I didn't know she had brothers. I didn't know that, and they're not even mentioned. Davis X was a Rolling Stone. So yes. Yes, she was. And you know what? I respected her because she knew the social stigma that once she said that, what people would say. She's like, I almost got a baseball team or something like that, right? Like she tried to make like light of it, and it was a thing, you know what I'm saying? But it was. I remember it was funny. I took her to see my dad, right? And he actually thought, he was like, I got to talk to you. He actually thought I was gonna like be serious with this woman. I was like, are you out of your mind, Dad? I was like, but like we had this relationship. So him trying to be a dad, all of a sudden, I was upset. And I felt like disrespect. Anyway, I'll get to my point is, no way in the world. I was like, this is not it. I'm not gonna be number 6. Let me tell you what's not happening in this situation. And so I was like, yeah. But again, so I try not to judge that part, you know what I'm saying? But just to be like, how did she treat her kids?
I'm telling you. And this is the thing. I feel like she loved her kids. I'm not saying she didn't love them, but a child, the same way that a child needs their dad, which I don't know why people don't think that, but children need their dad. They need both their parents actually to grow up to be healthy people, right? And even sometimes when you got both parents, you don't grow up to be healthy, but at least your parents gave it a try, right? You got a better shot, right? So I'm not saying that she didn't love them. I believe she did love them, but I believe that her parents made it easy for her by constantly saying, I got him. It was more so the mama, right? because this is the thing. When I had my son, and I like I've told you before, I had my son when I was 18 years old, right? And so my parents were like, "We love you and we love him, but we're not babysitters. The only time that we will babysit him is if you go to the doctor. If you're not going to the doctor, he is stuck to your side." And to be honest with you, that was exactly what happened. Wherever I went, Jimmy was right there. Everybody can tell you when Jimmy was born, he was my side. Like he was actually always there. You saw Kim, you saw Jimmy. We were not apart because I listened to what my parents said. They were like, he's yours forever. He's your responsibility forever. So don't give him to other people to take care of your responsibility. And I didn't. Nobody, even on his father's side, I wasn't dropping him off. Oh, I got to go and do things. No, Jimmy, he was right with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, I don't know how to not have my kids with me, right? But it's a lot of women, especially in the Black community, we tend to drop the babies off with grandma. I don't get that. And it's, I mean, all the time. It's like,
Hey,
why are you doing that?
the philosopher Chris Rock said, it ain't hard to tell who's going to jail. If a kid calls his grandmommy mom and his mama Pam, he's going to jail. I was like,
well, she had 2 kids go to jail.
Right. Like, thank you, Mr. Rock.
Like, 2 kids went to jail. And then, one of her sons died. Jason died.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
that was so sad. I was like, oh my gosh, he was only in his 30s. I was like, that's sad.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, she was in her truth, and I respect the fact that she said this is my story, good or bad, and she told her truth. I just to do her story more justice, we're just saying BET Plus is not the place to do it, right? Like she should have took her story somewhere else, and they did show her redemption arc of like when she gets out and she's trying to get a job, and she's trying and how hard it is for formerly incarcerated people to
absolutely
move on. But she still worked it through, and that was cool. Like I like that,
what I really liked is that she helped to get that check mark off of "Are you a felon?" off of job applications, because that is important, right? Just because you went to jail doesn't mean you're a bad person, right? People make mistakes, right? I mean, murder is, kind of, it's a little bad. But even sometimes with murder, right? If you're trying to save your life or someone else's life, then we can understand a murder, right? But if you're just a murderer, that's a little different. So you probably don't deserve.
Everybody has reasons.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. But I think that people do deserve a chance, and I think it should be based on what you went to jail for. Do you see what I'm saying?
It should be it should be automatic, no, right? Like even if it's some type of supervision or something. Like you got to understand an employer's, but like I'm bringing a problem, a documented problem into my organization, to my people, and they should know that. But that shouldn't be a complete exclusion from trying to to do something with your life, because then they're going to go back to crime, because that's all they can do at some point.
Yes, because that's why the United States does not reform. Their jail doesn't reform people, whether they send them to college or not. They don't reform them. Other places, they actually try to reform the person, right, to give them a chance to be in society. They don't do that in America. They just put you in jail, and that's it. You can go to school, but are you really reformed? Because when you come out, can you get a job with that degree that you got? No.
And so this goes to another comment. I'm just starting to watch Trap Queens. I'm late with these shows. I started to watch Trap Queens late myself, and I loved it. I noticed, and it's the only type of reality show I'm willing to watch, because it's more like a documentary. It's more like a documentary.
Yeah.
But I noticed how they switched to women. First, it was American Gangster, and like the season 1 was all men, and then they started the women version, and I think that just got more attention. And I watched all 3 seasons on BET Plus, because it starts off on BET and then they put it on BET Plus. It is a great story. We were going to review like some of the top stories, because her story was there. A couple of BMF stories are there. Actually, it was such a big organization. Like at least 3 women, including her, 2 other women, were part of that bigger network. They all had their one episode. in Trap Queen. So if you haven't seen it, it's a great series, but I think you have to watch it on cable. She did start off in check fraud, and then she got greedy, which is also an episode in Trap Queen. There's a lot of like fraud stuff going on. The scene with her friend shooting her boyfriend in underwear was silly.
Yeah.
I really hope that really did happen, because that was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious.
What about her friend Lisa set her up to get beat up killed?
Yes,
I thought he was gonna kill her. I thought he was gonna kill her.
He was. That was insane. But I'm like, again, that is a compelling story. I mean, there were elements. If they would have focused on that, and like the actual drug dealing that we saw was not H or Bobby, but actual BMF. Yeah, this would have been the movie we thought it was going to be. Like, and that would have been better. Like that. I mean, they had the material. They had the material for a good story. They just focused on the wrong thing. Right. And it's interesting. Anyway, come on, we gotta get to the blackening. Anything else for the ladies?
No, I like I said, I appreciate Tonesa coming, telling us the story, her real story. I appreciate that. I just feel like if had it been on Stars maybe or HBO or something, maybe it would have been told differently. She would have had more resources to get the story out. And would have had a different tone, right? So, but I mean, I'm glad she was able to reform, and she's helping people. And I think that is at the end of the day, whether we like this movie or we didn't, she is reformed, and she reformed herself. It was not the system that reformed her. She decided, I'm gonna reform myself after she was rejected. You know, she's trying to put food on the table for her children. Can't even get a damn job. Just, you know what I'm saying? That's not fair. That's not reform. So I feel like what she did is doing now to help other women. That is wonderful. That is she's putting her best foot forward, which is all we can ask, right? Yeah. So yay to her. Yeah. She gets all the accolades. She gets all
Netflix. Netflix has done this type of stuff, and they would have been a better platform. They definitely would have.
Absolutely. I didn't even think about Netflix. Netflix would have been perfect.
Netflix has done this kind of true crime docuseries, movie drama stuff, and they would have been perfect. To like you said, Kim, to give her a proper reason. This should have been like a mini series, like not a whole series, but like told properly. This could have been a good mini series, you know.
Oh, absolutely, on Netflix, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a 10 is much like when they're bad, I say it should have just been a movie. But with years of storytelling, of drug dealing, you know, before she met BMF, when she's with BMF, and her story afterwards, good 10 episodes arc, and with the right resources, it would have been a very compelling.
And it would have been done.
Yeah. And therefore better than BMF, because that shit's dragging on. Because we about to get to season 3, and they still haven't got the whole BMF thing started as we know it. As when they became really famous. So I'm like, what the fuck are we doing with this? But anyway, all right, thank you. I will see you for the blackening. All right, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you in the comments and the views. We're gonna get to being black. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the blackening in a few minutes. We're gonna pick up Jamani and Chris. Some of y'all asked us to review that movie. So now that it's out and we can just watch it, we're going to review it in a few minutes. So stick around. I'm gonna look forward to talking about that movie. And we will look forward to your comments about it. So see. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us in the chat.
I enjoy the view very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Go ahead.
Oh shit. Stacey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.